Good morning, all. Today's our topic is about photograph, which plays a significant role in labor management. Let's see the introduction. When the woman first comes for getting admitted in the labor room, it is to be ensured that she is truly in the progress of labor. The mother is also screened for any complication to herself or her baby. So to accessing the true progress of labor, this partogram plays an important role in the labor room. Next is a definition. It is a composite graphical recording of cervical dilatation and descent of head against the duration of labor in hours. So in a partogram, it is a graph form where we will denote or we will record the cervix dilatation as the descent of hair against each hour of labor. It gives information about fetal and maternal condition that are all recorded on a single sheet of paper. So partogram is a single graphical sheet of paper which gives the complete information about the mother and the fetus during the labor. A little bit about the history of photogram. It was developed by E.A. Friedman in the year of 1954, but the composite picture of labor was reported by Philpott in 1972, who combined the detail of progress of labor together with the information about fetal and maternal conditions. What are the advantages of photogram? It is a single sheet of paper which provides all the details at a glance. So seeing the photograph, you will be able to know about the condition of mother and the baby. No need to record the events repeatedly as all the events are recorded along with the time. There is no need of recording the events repeatedly. Then it gives clear picture about the labor. By seeing the photograph, you will be able to know when the labor started, what type of contractions was coming, what is the present station of the baby's head. These all things you will be able to know by seeing the photograph, and can predict deviation from normal labor. As the progress of labor is recording hourly, you will be able to know is there any deviation in the contraction from the normal. It facilitates the handover procedure. With the help of photogram, you can easily hand over one patient to the another shift members. It saves the working time also. Coming to the principles, in a photograph there are mainly two phases, that is latent phase and active phase. The latent phase means the cervical dilatation starts from 0 to 4. So 0 to 4 centimeter cervix dilatation is considered as latent phase, and the active phase which starts from 4 centimeter dilatation to the full dilatation of cervix. So these are the two phases, latent phase and the active phase. This latent phase of labor should not last longer than 8 hours. So it should take only 8 hours to complete the 4 centimeter of dilatation. So after 4 centimeter of dilatation, it moves to the active phase. During the active labor, the cervix dilatation should be like this. In a primary, in active phase, the dilatation will be like this, that is 1 centimeter per hour. In an hour, the cervix will dilate 1 centimeter in case of primary, and in multigravidal mother, there will be a little bit increase, that is 1.5 centimeter per hour cervix dilatation. Next is the methods of photogram recording. First is the patient information. So in this photogram, the first phase is for recording the patient information like name, the gravity of mother, the para, the hospital number, date and time of admission in the labor room, and the time of ruptured membranes, when the membranes got ruptured. Below the patient information comes the fetal heart rate. Here the rate of fetal heart rate indicates the state of fetus inside the uterus, and the FHS is recorded every half an hourly. And just below the fetal heart rate comes the amniotic fluid. So here record the color of amniotic fluid at every vaginal examination. We will check whether the membranes are intact, and if it is ruptured, you need to mention whether the membranes ruptured, the fluid is clear. If it is clear, you can mention it as C, and if the fluid is meconium stained, you should record as M, and B for blood stained fluid. So in the amniotic fluid area, you need to mention whether the membranes are intact. If it is ruptured, they mention about the color of amniotic fluids like C, M and B. Next is molding. Molding is the state in which the fetus skull bones overlap together to reduce the diameter of fetus skull, and it can easily pass through the pelvis. So that is known as molding. So molding is a state of reduction or loss of space between the skull bones, and if there is presence of increased molding of head high in the pelvis, it indicates the CPD. If you are finding that there is an increased molding of head when the head is above the brim of pelvis, that indicates the mother having the problem of cephalopelvic disproportion. The molding is mainly recorded as 0, +1, +2 and +3. 0 means the bones are separated and the sutures can be easily felt while you are palpating. +1 means the sutures are opposed together. +2 means sutures overlap together, but you can reduce the overlapping by while palpating or while giving the digital pressure, that is +2. And +3 means the sutures overlapped and you cannot reduce the overlapping by even giving the digital palpation. This is a sample of photogram. So it is a graphical single sheet of paper. Here you can see at the starting there is patient information. You need to record the name, Dravida Para, hospital name, everything there. Next comes the fetal heart rate. You can see it starts from the 100 to about 180. So according to the fetal heart, you can draft here or you can record it here just like the TPR charting. Next comes the liquor. So liquor, you need to write whether the membranes are intact. So if it is intact, you can write here I, and if it is ruptured, you need to mention the color of liquor. If it is clear, you can mention as C. If it is meconium stain, you should write as M. Next comes the molding. The molding you can write is whether it is 0, 1 plus, 2 plus or 3 plus. You can record it over here. And later comes the cervical dilatation and the descent of the head. You can see in the left hand side it is mentioned as cervical dilatation and descent of head. So here there are two main phases, the latent phase and the active phase. So the latent phase, which starts from the 0 to about 3 to 4, mainly we will say it as 0 to 4 as the latent phase. So 0 to 4 centimeter cervical dilatation is the latent phase, but it is shown here as 0 to 3 only, but in our text data it is given as 0 to 4 centimeters cervical dilatation as latent phase, and after that, that is 4 to 10 centimeter cervical dilatation is considered as the active phase. So in active phase also it is again divided into alert line and the action line. Coming to the cervical dilatation, it is assessed by doing every pervaginal examination, and it is marked as X on the graph. This graph consists of homogeneous 10 squares and each square indicates 1 centimeter of cervical dilatation. If you are seeing here, you can see there are many squares and about 10 squares are there, and each square is considered as 1 centimeter. So from top to bottom, total 10 squares are there. So if you are doing vaginal examination at the 10 o'clock, you will mention the time here as 10, and if you are getting 4 centimeter dilatation, you will see where it is given as 4, and at the level of 4, you will give a cross mark. So that means at 10 o'clock, the cervix was 4 centimeter dilated. So in this diagram, they have given only the active phase, that is from the 4 centimeter cervical dilatation only they have shown here. At the 4 centimeter dilatation, the alert line starts. So it means this is the active phase only. Till 0 to 4 centimeter is the latent phase. It is not given here. These have shown only the active phase of labor. Next is the descent of head. It is assessed by abdominal examination before doing the vaginal examination. refers to a part of head palpable above the symphysis pubis, and it is recorded as a circle at every vaginal examination. So it is done by doing the abdominal examination, and we will feel the or palpate the head above the symphysis pubis, and it is recorded as 0 or circle at every vaginal examination. So in this diagram, you can easily identify how the cervix dilatation and the descent of head is plotted. You can see in the diagram, in the first hour, the cervix is dilated about 5 centimeter. They have put a cross mark over there, and the descent of head is 3 by 5, and the second time when they are doing the PV, the cervical dilatation is about 9 centimeter, and the descent of head is at 0 station. So this is how the cervix dilatation and the fetal descent is recorded in the photograph. Next component is the uterine contraction. It is recorded graphically on the photograph according to the strength and frequency, and the observation is made every half an hour in the active phase of labor. Palpate the number of contractions in 10 minutes and duration in seconds. So this uterine contraction is palpated or measured every half an hourly. You can see in this square that it is mentioned as 0, half an hour, 1 hour, 1.5, 2 hours. Likewise, it will go. So in every half an hour, we will keep our hand over the abdomen and measure how many times, so what is the duration of each contraction. If the contraction's duration is more than 20 seconds or less than 20 seconds, it is known as mild contraction. If each contraction's duration is between 20 to 40 seconds, that is mild contraction. And if the contraction is more than 40 seconds, that means the contraction is severe. So every half an hourly, the contractions are recorded as it is shown here. Next is the oxytocin drip. It consists of two lines, one for record the oxytocin per liter of IV fluid and another for drops of fluid per minute. So it is mainly recorded every half an hourly. And next comes the drugs and other IV fluids. So record any additional drugs you are giving like sedatives, antibiotics, IV fluids, or any drug that you are giving to the mother during the labor. You should record it in that area. Next is the vitals. We need to check the pulse every 30 minutes, BP every 4 hourly, and the temperature every 2 hourly. You need to mention like just like the TPR chart, you need to record over there. And next and the last is the urine analysis. During the course of labor, the examination of urine is very important. In case of maternal distress, the volume of urine may decrease and contain the ketone bodies. So the urine output should be mentioned over there. Thank you for listening.